everyone, Fluffy here. Well, it's way back Wednesday. Hope y'all are having a great week. I'll explain how my week's been going since last Wednesday. Yeah. So, I'll go ahead and start with the weight, and because that's the whole purpose of this video. So, let's go ahead and look at it. Okay, so last week on the 19th, I weighed 276 even, and that was a weight gain of 1.4 pounds from the week prior. Today, my weight is, drumroll please, no, is once again 276 even. So it wasn't a weight loss, but it wasn't a weight gain either. Let me go ahead and show that to you. So, yeah. But, my weight's been up and down. I went to the doctor on Monday, and I'll tell you all that was said there. It was with my surgeon, my 1-month follow-up. Well, actually, it was more like 6 weeks, but it was a 1-month follow-up. And when I went to the doctor, his scale showed 280, but my scale showed 279. That was Monday. Well, on Friday or Saturday morning, I stepped on the scale. Yes, I cheat and step on it every now and again. I was back down to like 274 or 275. And I was real excited about that. It was 274? Yeah, it was 274 because I remember going, okay, that's more like it. And so then when I stepped on my scale that morning and his scale, I was really not happy and very confused. Well, not really confused, just not happy. Went to see him, and y'all, you know I have PTSD. Let's start off by when I went at 1 o'clock. And when I got there, the elevators, because he's on the second floor, so I think it's a 3-story building, was on the second floor, and it said the elevators were out because that whole hospital had a power outage a few days prior to that. It made the news. And because all critical patients had to be sent to the other hospital that's here in town. So, it said due to that, the elevators weren't working and that I had to use the stairs. Y'all know how I feel about stairs. I was 5 minutes late for my appointment because I debated whether or not to go up there. It took me 10 minutes to decide. And so, actually, it took me 5 minutes to decide and 5 minutes to go up one stairs and up another. Yeah. So I was like all panicking. They checked my blood pressure. Of course, it was high. And so we talked, and he checked my scar out. He said, I'm doing fantastic pro-surgery. And he kind of hinted that he went around about to say it. I think that he was surprised because he said there's very little success for my type of surgery, and I think he kind of meant the type of surgery with the size person that I am, and that I guess a lot of us blow our sutures, but he looked and said I'm doing fantastic. I talked to him about the 2 lumps that I had in my incision area, and he felt on them. The lower part of my incision deep down was very tender. When he pushed on it. I didn't tell him, but he says I'm still healing. He says what that is he said he sewed together my fat pocket. There's a fascia, and I don't know if the fascia is the fat pocket or it's on top. But he said there's still space. He said he sutured some of it together, but there's still a space where he put the 2 together, and blood collects. And then after a period of time, the blood clots, and that's what I'm feeling. He said eventually your body's going to absorb it, and then they won't be there at all. So I was happy to hear about that, which is why, of course, I didn't feel them in the beginning. I said, oh, I was kind of concerned because I didn't feel them in the beginning. He said, yeah, because the blood was just there, liquid, and it hadn't clotted yet. So the person that told me they had the same thing happen to them, that's why we got those lumps. So I'm looking forward to those going away. But he was very happy to see the incision, the way it was healing nicely, things like that. I am still to be careful, limited mobility, be careful bending over, be careful picking anything up. On my chart, it said no lifting, but all this time he's been telling me no lifting over 25 pounds. So I'm just, in general, I'm real careful. He said 6 weeks out is normally the only amount of time that they give. Sorry, y'all, I have to clean my glasses. Is the only time they get, 6 weeks is the restrictions they put on you. He said, but because of my situation, he just wants to be absolutely sure. So I'm to go another 3 or 4 weeks with those restrictions. I don't need to see him again unless something arises, he said. If something happens that he needs, that I think I need to see him, he said, come on back. Otherwise, he's released me. I talked to him about my bowel movements or lack of thereof. I did explain that with fibro. And he's an older doctor, so he kind of smiles when I talk about my fibro. So I think that he's one of those that are kind of about it. But I had told him I do have tummy issues. You know, I go from one extreme to the other for no apparent reason. I said, I thought that was it. I said, but it kind of feels different. And I wanted to mention it to him. He said he's got patients that only go once a week. He says he's got one that goes twice a month. He said that's perfectly fine. And I told him, well, it frustrates me because of weight loss. And I feel bad because I promised you, that's what I'm telling him, I promised you that my weight wasn't going to be a problem and that I wouldn't ever get another hernia. And I know that if I gain more weight, then I run the chance of getting another. He kind of smiled and he kind of patted my leg because that's what was closest to him. And he said, I'm glad you're looking at that. Yes, weight gain will cause another one. He said, but I think you're doing great. He said, just keep it up. And the fact that you're frustrated by it shows me that you're going to keep trying. So he said, just do the best you can and just keep going with the flow. So I was happy to hear that. There was something else that he said, and I can't remember. It was in my head when I was telling you this part, but I flutter around so much with my explanations. Let me see if I can get it back. We talked about my incision. We talked about the weight gain, the tummy troubles. I guess that's it. Oh, what also that he said, he kept saying patch, but I remember in the hospital he said he put a patch and a mesh. But he only talked about the patch this time, and he said a lot of doctors, when they place the patch on there, which a mesh is technically a patch, so maybe it's the same thing. But he said that most doctors just lay it over. He says, I don't like those odds because it can always shift. And he said, and I wanted to do the best thing for you. So he said he tacked it down. He sewed it down so that it would stay in place. And I just thought, well, I was happy about that. You know what I mean? I felt good that that's what he did. So, because he said it could shift before it clings to your body, it grows to your body. So, because I'm thinking to myself, he said that because I remember when he said it at first, I'm thinking, well, doesn't your body absorb stitches? But he finished it off with before your body can take it on and have it attached. So it was a very, very good visit. I was very happy until it was time to leave and go back down the stairs. So it took me 10 minutes to get down the stairs. I was terrified, sweating, very upset when I left. It's just because of my trauma from my eye that I was not really happy I had to go downstairs. And so I said, if I have to come see you again, the first thing I'm going to ask are the stairs fixed? He just smiled. But the nurse and the receptionist, because my heart was racing and they could tell I was stressed, I told them about the stairs, and they both offered to go with me. Will it help if we go with you? No, not really. Then I'll just feel bad that you're seeing me witness this. And a doctor had come upstairs while I started to go down the first flight. And so I had to move over because when I was going down, I held on to both rails going down. And so I had to move over, and I hung on for dear life. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, PTSD, stairs, it's a whole story. And he goes, well, just take your time. I said, oh, yes, sir, I will take my time. So I started down, and he didn't get out of the stairwell right away. But then I guess when he saw that I was going step for step, he went in. I knew this because even though he was behind me, I didn't turn around. He didn't open the door. So that was my traumatizing / good experience at the surgeon's office. Let me see if I can show you. I'm using my phone today. My daughter bought this newfangled thing. It's got a holder and a beauty light attached to it. So I've got to get used to it. But let me see. Mr. Kaka, I finally got sick and had a very serious talk with my daughter. And I told her, we need to do something about him because he's going in the house every day. I risk injuring myself after surgery when I was alone because I can't just leave it sitting on the floor. So I said, we need to do something or we're going to have to rehome him because this is a rental and he's only here still because I do love him and I want to do everything I can to house train him. But so what we did was we got him female doggy diapers, so it's all around and not just that strap around his waist. It kept coming off. He kept rubbing it off, so he's moving like he knows I'm fixing to show him. He's not really happy. Let me see. Excuse the house. It's a little bit of a mess. Let me see if I can turn it so y'all can see. Whoa. See him? Well, I will have to edit some of that out because this thing popped off the holder. It's just going to take some getting used to. So, we put that onesie on him. I went to buy them at the store so that the diaper would stay on. He's not real happy. Let him go in a day and a half because he was so miserable with it on. And when we wake up in the morning, it's off of him. And my daughter lets him out before she goes to work. And that morning, she didn't put it back on him. And I thought, okay, I really don't see right this second where he's peed. Let's give him a chance for just a day. And I'll be damned if I let the guy in to fix the doorbell. And then he came in, didn't have a work order at that time to fix the light in the kitchen. But he said he'd go ahead and take a look at it so that he could tell his boss what needed to be done with it. And so the second I turned around and the light shined in the house from outside, he peed right next to the cabinet. You've seen the black cabinet where I do my mukbang sometimes. He peed right there. So I was pissed. So he got a spanking, and then I put that back on him. So he will have that on for several days. I will go 6 hours with letting him go to the restroom to try to get him used to it. So, yeah, I'm not his favorite person right now. Not his favorite human right now. And I think I'm looking funny because in my laptop, if I look at my image, it still almost looks like I'm kind of looking at y'all because of where the camera is placed. Well, anybody that has a smartphone knows that your camera is at the top of the camera. And if I look at my image, which I glance sometimes, it looks like I'm looking off into space. So I'm staring at the camera, but it's weird because it's like I'm looking at nothing. So I'll have to get used to that if I'm going to continue using my phone. I may just use the cute little lamp because it's a round beauty lamp like the big ones that you get. I mean, look, see it? You can see the circle. So that's why this is probably going to be a weird, weird video. But I'm excited about it. She was excited to get it for me, so I have to use it. So that's just it. I don't know that it will be good to film from my camera on a mukbang because I'm so used to angles and setting up the camera and the food with my laptop. So we'll see. How this week has been going for me, it has not been a good week. Well, it's been a good week, then it hasn't been a good week. This last week, I did a lot of moving around. Last Saturday, I did something, and then I did the video, and then I went to Wednesday night dinner on Wednesday, and then we went somewhere Friday, and then we went to IKEA on Saturday. Man, I was so sore after IKEA on Saturday, but you know, my mother's no spring chicken, and I want to spend as much time with her as I physically can. So I managed to make it for Sunday breakfast and Aldi's. And then on Monday, I went to the doctor's office, and then I went to Walmart to pick up a few things. So that put me into a physical flare. You know, I told you this flare that I've been in from my surgery has been more fatigue and tiredness. Well, physically it took over. It's been a Norco kind of week, and and a lot of soaking in the tub, but feeling not too bad today. I just got a text from my sister saying that last minute dinner at my mom's. I'm not sure if I'll go. I'm going to try real hard to go, but ooh. And then I'm going to try to go somewhere else today. If I don't go there, then I will do a mukbang today. If I go there today, then I will do a mukbang tomorrow, and then I will tell you about it. Kind of excited about it. Well, I could tell you about it right now. I was telling my daughter that, you know, the doctor wants me to move more. I want to try to do more slowly. And so my daughter has been wanting to buy me a treadmill. And the one she found on Amazon has the safety rails all the way down the treadmill, not just at the top. Because she knows I'm clumsy. And not only am I naturally clumsy, my eye makes me kind of off balance. My fibro makes me off balance. My weight makes me off balance, so that's why I don't like walking up and down the street. Plus, it's been like 1,200 degrees here in Texas. Pretty damn close. Anyway, the other day I was talking, and there's a gym here that no membership, and it's like $10 a month. And I told my daughter, I think instead of you putting all that chunk of change out for a treadmill, and there's really no place to put it, really. I mean, we could probably find a place. I said, I think I'll join a gym if I don't do anything else but go to the treadmill every now and again. Well, she comes home and she has signed me up for a gym membership. It's another gym that just opened up here. It's a military town. You got all those GIs trying to stay in shape. Then you got all the girls trying to get themselves a GI, trying to keep themselves in shape. We've got about 3 or 4 gyms here. And so I'm part of a gym membership, and she made it perfectly clear to me, Mom, even if you go just once a month, this is a no pressure deal. Just because I'm paying for it doesn't mean I expect you to go X amount of times a week. Go when you feel up to it. Well, I was going to go Monday, well, since I was out after the doctor visit, but I was just so, because of the stairs, I did my Stairmaster. That I didn't go. But this particular gym, she says, Mom, the reason I picked this gym is because they have hydro massage. Now, I don't know what that is. I think I've seen a video on it. So unless it's just like a pressure washer type of massage, I may be able to take that. So if I'm up to it today, even if it's after dinner, I may just go by, because that's what I was going to do Monday. I was just going to go by and walk around, check out what they mean about the pressure wash, you know, the pressure wash, the hydro massager, find out what I have to wear, how often it's available, or whatever, and then go check out and see where the treadmills are. And I'm telling you, it's not a half an hour brisk walk or whatever. It's going to be 2 or 3 minutes, because if I overdo it and get overzealous, then, you know, it's going to be another Norco week. So I'm kind of excited about it. I keep getting frustrated now because I can't at least go and check it out, because I've been feeling like cock-a-doodle this whole week as far as physically, but I'm getting better. So I made myself, well, there went coffee. Even heated it up again, but it's already lukewarm again because I put so much creamer in it that it cools it off. So I threw it in the microwave and forgot all about it. Anyway, I think that's all. It doesn't even look my direction. Hey, that's because we love you and we want to train you again. So I hope y'all have a really good week. I hope to get on here. I may or may not film the gym. I might. You ain't going to see me on the apparatuses, but I can at least maybe film and give you a tour of the facilities if they let me. So, because, you know, how you hold the camera, they're going to know I'm filming. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I definitely don't want to just continue to do this once a week. But that's where I've been. I'm trying to step up and do it. I know it doesn't seem like it because I don't... Did I film... I think I did the cook bong after the weigh-in, I think. So, anyway, having said that, God bless y'all. Positive vibes out to each and every one of you. Remember to always be kind and be your own advocate. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all real soon, okay? Bye.